don't get paid if you sleeping, man. You don't know where I come from. You don't know what I've been through. Realize I don't say I sent you. You getting mad, I'm sitting back, I'm fucked up, I'm getting trash. Gotta go watch 2 gold chains and I go real like you know. Man, I rap like it's loaded. I mean.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another amazing video. Thank you so much for watching. On this video, I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin price, my prediction, the patterns I have been noticing, and one small detail that I actually discovered watching other crypto YouTubers predictions and things like that I felt like I should mention it to you guys because it actually blew my mind. So shout out to that crypto YouTuber. I'll link his channel down below in the description. Anyways, let's get right into it. The current price is $33,559. It is about 50% from, the high, which was about 64K, however much it was. So this is how I do it. I'm doing TradingView. A lot of people do this site whenever it comes to charting. I use the free one. No, I don't pay no premium or anything exclusive. This works for me. It has been working for many years. A lot of people do it differently. People go off of candles. People go off of wicks. They use different settings on their charting. I'm telling you, there's thousands of ways to chart. Every single way could work for you. Every single way could be bad for you. You just gotta find your certain pattern that works. This is my strategy that does end up working, that I've been using for a long ass time, and I stick with that strategy. I don't like having crazy lines everywhere, any little tiny support and resistance. It hurts my eyes. I don't like it. It gives me a headache whenever I see a bunch of stuff on my screen. So I try to keep it to the most minimal lines and patterns looking on my screen as possible. That way I could still get the right price targets, the right time to get it in, the right time to sell, or at least about the right time. So what I do is I do the MA13 close and the MA34 close, as you can see these lines down here. And usually whenever it's above, as soon as it breaks above, as you can see, it stays above the 2 lines. It just means it's bullish under my book, and that's whenever I get in, because whenever it crosses, that's whenever it determines whether it's going to be up or down. As you can see, whenever it crossed here, bullish, and it stayed pretty well, but then it crossed right here, and that was the 13 crossing down into the 34, and that meant bearish, so it started trending down. It wanted to turn bullish. The 13 almost crossed above the 34. So whenever the 13 crosses below the 34, it's usually bearish for me. But whenever the 13 crosses above the 34, it's bullish. So I know these types of things are very confusing. The 13-day close, the 34-day close, so on and so forth. That's how I have my settings. That's how I know. So it will be a continued bearish pattern, and as you can tell, it continued to go below the 2 13 34 moving averages, and we have been staying about below it so far. We did have a fake out. In my opinion, this was a fake out. The RSI looks decently, not too bad. It tested above 52, but it got rejected and it went down, and that's where you saw that little sell pressure come through. We are in a small little channel below right here. It is hovering, retesting this support level of about 30K. We need to keep an eye on that 29K to 30K level. It is very, very critical. This W pattern right here looked like a bullish W pattern, and it looked like it wanted to break out and continue its pattern right back up. And as you can see, it had just barely a wick above that resistance. I know a lot of people probably lost a lot of money because of that. They thought it was like, all right, it's back to bullish, let's get back in. Well, it ended up being the other story. Ended up rejecting and coming right back down, and now we are almost right below the 1334 again. So if this ends up breaking support levels on the 30K, 29K will then be the next support level. If this breaks, guys, we could see potentially a $23,500 BTC. I know it sounds crazy, and all of you bullish fanboys out there are gonna think I'm crazy, but I've been through here since I've been in Bitcoin since way back in 2016, and some patterns just repeat themselves over and over again. So once you start seeing a pattern of the same thing, you know that what's going to happen next. But that's what I'm predicting. That's the areas we need to keep an eye out. The 24,000, 2,300, 500, something like that is where it's going to end up going here in the future. That's what I predict. But if this turns just completely the opposite way, and this somehow manages to break upward to the $40,000 zone up here, and it starts to retest this 45,000 resistance, we could potentially go back higher. I don't see it happening. Maybe there is the possibility. I love Bitcoin. I've been in this for years and years, and I wish it the best, but when you just got to go with the flow, man. I'm not going to buy a $40,000 Bitcoin over here whenever in my book, my pattern, my TA says it's going to go back down to retest 29K. Like, why would I? Most of this is all just newcomers and new investors that have never heard of Bitcoin, and that they think they can make a quick buck overnight, and they just buy and buy and buy, and then all of a sudden it just crashes down. They panic, they sell, and everything. This selling pressure, I feel like it's nothing compared to what's coming up next. Some people are still holding, hoping it's going to go back up to at least break even to where they bought at. But the real sellers will come in once we start hitting that $29,000 zone and it breaks through down to 24K, 25K. That's where the real bloodbath will come. Eventually, we will be retesting that 17K low. This is the same pattern that has always happened. Bitcoin breaks up to all-time high. It retests that all-time high, previous years, and then it breaks through. It does a parabolic move all the way up. It crashes down. It stabilizes, and then it retests that previous all-time high. Years ago that broke out, and then it just continues to go up, but it never goes below that. So I don't think BTC will ever go below 17,100, that previous all-time high back in December of 2017. It was something like that. I don't think it will, but maybe, and I don't want to guarantee nothing. Okay, so the one thing that I noticed is that this one person said that we have to keep an eye out on the altcoin charts. This right here is very critical. It's typically the crypto total market excluding Bitcoin. This right here, we hit trillions of dollars worth in the crypto market, which back then it was like 1 billion or however much it was, or 900 billion, I can't remember. Yeah, it was 900 billion, and everybody was like, yo, this is crazy, so on and so forth, crypto's the future. And now look at it. We did actually hit the $1 trillion mark, and look at this pattern, just insane move all the way up, and we did like an alligator type of pattern to where it just hit the top. The pattern that I'm seeing also is that back then in 2017, there was not a lot of stable coins. It was only like 1 or 2 on the Ethereum side, but not that many. And back then in 2016, 2017 era, it was the ICOs, IPOs, so on and so forth. So you had to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on and so forth in order for you, even Litecoin, in order for you to get into all the ICOs and buy the altcoins. So that's what created that big euphoria and whatever about Bitcoin going to all-time highs, so on and so forth, and everybody was buying the big boys, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. All of them ended up skyrocketing. Well, it's a different time right now. So we have a lot of good stable coins. Pretty much every coin out there has a stable coin for the most part. So you don't even have to buy the actual Bitcoin or Ethereum to get into all these altcoins. Now you can actually buy stable coins like USDC, USDT, so on and so forth, and you can still be able to get into all them new projects. Now even DeFi, you can farm and stake or whatever into the stable coins, which is crazy. So now you don't even need Binance, you can use BUSD. So that's what's triggering most of this sell pressure. Also, I feel like the top is not going to be determined on the actual Bitcoin chart. The top of the bull market, which I think it already is there. This right here, I think, is the top. I think that the actual top is on the altcoin charts right here, not on the Bitcoin side, because everybody was using BUSD and stable coins and altcoins. So everybody, of course, wants to make a quick buck and turn their few hundred into thousands into millions or whatever. And that's where the money is flowing into. So now they can just cash out their stable coin like crypto.com. Once they make their money, they turn it into BUSD or USDC. They crash it out to the exchange, and crypto.com has USDC and all that you can just load up your card. So all that money is not being reflected, in my opinion, under the actual Bitcoin price. Who knows how high Bitcoin would have been if all these stable coins did not exist. Maybe it would have went higher. Maybe it would have just crashed the opposite way. We just do not know the exact prediction of what would have happened. All we know is that this is what's going on right now, and these are the key areas that I am looking at right now. So 24,000 is around 23,500 worst case scenario. But best case, worst case scenario, I guess you would call it, is about 25,000. And the support level that I'm watching very closely is about the 29,000. Let's say I'm gonna use the wick just in case. So 29,276 is what I would be watching very, very closely. The 1334 moving average is still, it's questionable right now. It's literally touching both of them, but once we get below, we will start seeing patterns like this and candles right below, and eventually we'll just go like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that right there. So eventually down the road, my pattern that I'm seeing is something like this, and we start retesting that big support level down below my 23,500, 25,000. It's hard to tell right now, but that's what Bitcoin looks like it's doing. No guarantees. This is all just my prediction and everything that's going on. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're actually bullish, bearish, if any patterns, what type of strategies you use. I'll leave TradingView down in the description below. You can make an account, do whatever you want to. Maybe you can use my settings. If you're interested, I'll make another video about my settings, but this is just a prediction video. So that is it for this video, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and start packing for Vegas. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be glad to answer them down below in the comment section. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Take care. I'm out. Peace.
You don't get paid if you sleeping, man. You don't know where I come from. You don't know what I've been through. Realize I don't say I sent you. You getting mad? I'm sitting back. I'm fucked up. I'm getting trashed. Gotta go watch 2 gold chains and I go real like that.